So, Norman, can you tell everybody who you are?
My man. Well, thank y'all for having me here today. I appreciate it, Chris and Joe. I'm Norman Young. I am.
My name's Eric.
Eric?
Yeah.
You didn't just say Chris? I knew it was Eric. No, I'm just I did. Right. Nah, Eric, nice. Yeah.
Welcome to the Recovery After Party. All right, guys, welcome back to the Recovery After Party. I'm Joe Hekkema, and this is my friend
Eric Baker.
And then today we have a special guest, Norman Young from the Man Cave. We'll just roll right into it. So, Norman, can you tell everybody who you are?
I'm Norman Young. I'm a husband. I'm a follower of Christ. I'm a dad of 3 daughters. I love the Muskegon community, and I'm really known. A lot of my work, a good body of my work, has been servicing fathers, creating fatherhood programs, and creating safe space for fathers to come together and to grow together. I believe fatherhood is one of the most important roles you will ever have in life, and it's a role that we don't do alone. So I try to create space and support for fathers in the community.
Nice. So, have you ever struggled with substance use disorder?
Oh, man, we're going to jump right in. Yeah, I was going to kind of polish. No, I guess, being a part of Samaritan Way, I've done some work with you guys. And the reason why I love the work of here and the other recovery efforts in the community is because addiction has been a part of my story in life. Most people don't know, but there was a piece of my life. I was in college, having a good time.
It's always college.
It was a good time in college. I had a great time. Knew a lot of people. I had the hangout spot. I was one of the first people in college who switched from a dorm to the apartment off campus.
Oh, okay.
So I was cool then. I was a cool Norm. And in that process, I did a lot of drinking, a lot of smoking, and I dealt with a small injury, very small. Mm-hmm. Or Tylenol would have been more than sufficient.
Yeah.
But I had a good friend of mine, no harm intended, but she gave me a pill, and it was a painkiller, and it changed the trajectory of my life.
Yeah.
I took one for the pain, and then they took me for a ride after that, and I found myself, that one became the next day, hey, can I get some more? And she had an insane amount of pain pills at her disposal for a couple different reasons, but she gave me some pain pills, and that took me on a ride way longer than college. It was the first thing that I picked up that I couldn't put down. I could smoke and smoke for 3 months straight, put it down, and I'd be good. Or I could drink for 2 weeks straight, and I would stop, and I would be good. With that pain pill, it was like a click. It's like a click.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what was life like before addiction took over?
Before addiction took over, I would say my life was really having a good time, man. I enjoyed, like I said, my heart was always for serving people and family. So I was in college. I enjoyed playing ball, played a lot of basketball, and I'm going to be honest with you, unlike some of the other drugs, when I started taking pills, a lot of people didn't know. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I was able to disguise it. I was winning awards in the community and then popping pills in the evening, you know? Not because I wanted to, but after you do it for a little bit of time, it wasn't as easy to put it down. So I say life before addiction, there was always something that I think I was able to mask, whether it's with sports or always hanging out with friends or always moving, always on the go. And pills kind of just help mask the need for people, and it became my own. Yeah, I don't know the word, but yeah.
Yeah, I was always super sneaky about hiding my opioid addiction until fentanyl. There ain't really no hiding that one, but I was pretty good at hiding it myself. So we know addiction doesn't just affect us, but it affects our family as well. How did addiction impact your kids and wife at all, or were you done by then?
No, I was not done by then, but I was really good at hiding it. Mm-hmm. Nobody knew. When I tell you, I would go to meetings, I would do work, I would come home, It wasn't until I ran out
That people knew.
that people knew I had a problem, because I would spend all day, all hours making phone calls trying to get more, calling different doctors, pill shopping, whatever you want to call it. So I think the biggest part is when I didn't have it. I don't want to like make it sound joyous, but on it, I remember there was a Kevin Hart skit, and he said his dad used to do drugs, and the thing about his dad using drugs is it was always a good time, because his dad, he never had a bad idea. Yeah. Let's go do that. He'll say, "Hey, Dad, let's go swimming. Let's go jump off a lake," and his dad was always willing to do it. And I say mine was quite similar. Like whatever my kids wanted to do, my friends wanted to do, nothing sounded like a bad idea.
Yeah.
Because the area of reason was often numbed.
Yeah, I was the same way too. My kids have actually told me that I was more fun on drugs.
I'm
like, dude, they're like, "Well, Dad, you let us do whatever we want." I was like, "That's not good." No.
How has faith changed the way you approach recovery?
Faith changed my life in the way my relationship with Christ changed that. I tried to quit. We was joking before we started this podcast, and y'all both got 52 tatted. No, I'm saying
yeah.
Joe got 52 times tatted on his forearm, because he said that's about what it took for him to quit. And I tried not 52 times, but very often to quit. I tried so many times. I went through the worst detox of sleeping in bathtubs, flushing toilet, deleting contacts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I did that piece. And there was one effort where I gave it my all. I don't know if you ever had that point where you're like, I'm done. I'm giving it everything. All in. Flushed everything down the toilet. Took off of work for a period of time. I was ready. And I got to day 30, which I never had gotten to. And I'm like, I made it. And on the way to work one day, probably day 32 or something, I had a little headache. I don't even think I had a real headache. I think I felt like I had a headache coming. Okay. And my mind was like, you don't need a Tylenol. You need a pain pill.
Yeah.
And I relapsed. And that moment scared me. And it was within that I said, it was scary, because I gave something my best effort, and I fell short. I always tell people it's like fighting a bully, and you cock back and you give him the best punch you got, and he just eat it, and he like, and that's what it felt like. So what ended up happening is I came across a good friend who connected me with someone who was deep in their faith. And one day I was going through, long story short, it was a Christmas Eve, and I felt like the Lord was calling me to quit. I had started spending time with the Lord more. It wasn't about going to church. It was about like starting having really deep relationship.
Yeah.
And she wrote me a text message, and it changed my life. And it's my theory about addiction. And she said, I hope that Norman no longer continues to fight the need to be loved, but receive the perfect love of Christ. And in that, it made so much sense. The reason why I always needed friends, or I needed something, is because I was looking for love to fill a void that nothing else would ever fill in. His love, God's love for me changed my life. Even though I knew he loved me, it was like in that moment, it was very personalized. And it shifted everything.
Couldn't feel it.
My life never changed drastically after that, of just receiving his love. Not earning it, not believing I can do something to make it happen, but it was just receiving.
Yeah, and there's nothing else that comes close to God's love.
Man, like changed the trajectory of my life.
So what keeps you sober today?
Fearful of what I used to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm at a point now, I'm at 5.5 years, about 5.5 years sober. And I'm at a point where I don't desire anything else. I always tell people the things that I was trying to numb were the things exactly what I needed to address to be who I am today. So I don't desire my past. That perfect love that I received then fulfills me now. There is nothing that compares. I love my wife. I love my children. I love what I do for work in the community. But that doesn't feel Norman anymore.
Right.
The love that I have now, that's unconditional. So I'm full. I'm a fully charged battery in him. Not a perfect life, but a perfect love. And because of that, I'll never go back. I ain't never going back. Like I'm done. No desire.
And this is like one of the first few times you came out and publicly spoke on your past addictions, you were telling us before the show. So that's really cool. Shout out Recovery After Party.
Shout out.
Recovery After Party, man.
What's the man cave? Can you explain to the audience what the man cave is?
So in finding out who I am and in that freedom, the Lord revealed my purpose, and it has been to really share his love. And one way I do that is I run a fatherhood group called Man Cave. It is a group of fathers where we run through a 7-week course that I lead, and it really talks about fathers really diving in to see who they are and who they're called to be as a father.
And that's right here in Muskegon County?
That's right here in Muskegon County.
Okay.
Yep, 7-week group. After the 7 weeks, we try to stay connected and continue to grow. But there's an initiative that has just been continuously evolving. I've ran over 11 different groups.
Okay.
Got blessed to run here at Samaritan Recovery. Some of those guys, we stay in contact. But the overall goal is to build this network of fathers where nobody's doing fatherhood alone. I don't know, but when I became a first-time father, it was like I fell into this instant love. Mm-hmm. But I didn't know how to be the father that I wanted to be. And the best way to do that, almost like recovery and anything, is with community. You need people around you. You need people who've surpassed you and who have already raised children. And then you need people who are first-time fathers. And you need people in the middle, all different aspects of the journey, but to speak life into you and to teach you and to grow. And that's what Man Cave is about. It's about a group of guys coming together to do fatherhood together.
Okay, and if somebody wants to get involved with the Man Cave, where can they find that?
Great question, man. This guy's ready, man. How about if there's a link that I can provide. And
it'll be at the bottom of the page.
It'll be at the bottom of the page, and you can get in contact with me. Sometimes, when I'm not hosting a group, so I host it in cohorts. So I run it 7 weeks, take a break, run it 7 weeks, and that break usually allow the dads who've already joined for us to stay connected, but it also time to retweak things for the next group of guys who'll be taking it. But in between time, I always get dads who are like, hey, bro, I'm just struggling. I just need a place to go. And I'm very good at carving out time for even dads who need support in basic, man, I'm dealing with CPS, bro, and I don't know where to go. Or how does parenting time work? I'm no legal advocate. I have no law degree. Write that in bold and red. But I do know some of the basic pieces of where it's like, hey, you at least need to go to court here. You need to file a motion, or have you seen a referee? And we got good people like Jason Walker, a friend of the court, who who I've been able to connect with to support dads, and who are really sincerely making an effort to be a more involved father, to grow in their fatherhood role.
Yeah, and I've seen personally that you do a great job, not only with this group, but like as being a father too. Like, you're not somebody that I would worry about like coming in this Samaritan way doing a dad group, but later on that night you can be out here hitting blocks with the kids or something. Like, that's not. I remember being in treatment over at Fresh Coast, and you were coming in and just starting that, and I always looked up to you for that. Like, man, that dude's a good dad, and he knows what he's doing.
My man.
I always say I don't run a men's group at Samaritan Way because I don't think I'm like a perfect example. But whenever I've thought about men's group, I'm like, Norman is a good facilitator for that.
My man, I appreciate that, bro. That means a lot. They hold me accountable. I don't want to preach what I'm not practicing, and I'm not the best at it, but I'm progressing.
How long have you been doing the Man Cave?
Man Cave is now going on since 2022, but I've been serving fathers in this community since 2017.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to run a fatherhood program for the intermediate school district, and for all of the Head Starts in Muskegon and Oceana County, I worked to advocate for fathers and did some father engagement activities and opportunities, and then it just grew from there. People see me doing it there and wanted it to be held other places, and that's what it kind of grew into. So.
Now, do you do that at a church? Are you connected with a church, or is it something that we do?
Good question. My group is based off of the need. I try to find areas in the community. Where maybe it's more accessible to dads.
Okay.
So, like, if I see a good group of guys in a certain area who may not all have transportation, I'm looking for a space in that area to rent out or to use. So wherever, I feel led to be. So I've done it here at Samaritan Way. I've done it at Fresh Coast. I've done it for school districts. I've partnered with some churches in it. So yeah, it's kind of the area of need right now. I'm hosting. I just wrapped up a cohort last week, and we were meeting out the African American Museum in Muskegon Heights.
Okay.
So, yeah, I've done Board of Ed, the Board of Ed building. So wherever is affordable, being a newer initiative, and what's going to be accessible, so people can get there.
Yeah, so it sounds like you go where the need is.
Go where the need is. Yeah.
There's a lot of fathers out here that need it too.
Man, we all do. You guys you're a recovery coach. You've been recovery coaching, doing it all. But good therapists or good supporters, mentors always say, you're in the right space when you're learning from the people that you're serving.
Yeah.
When you stop learning and you feel like you got it, you need to walk away from it. And I'm nowhere near that. They teach me something. They see my blind spots as much as I share theirs. Absolutely. So that's the good piece about it, is I get to evolve as a dad as I do that. It's like level of accountability.
It's such a beautiful thing.
Man, I love it, bro. I love it. It's helped me grow as a father. Even now as I'm in a tough season of fatherhood, just with transition. And it is, some of those guys have spoken some words over me that have really encouraged me to keep going. Whenever you serving people think like, you got it together or you at this pinnacle point, but I'm still a work in progress, like it's all. Doing this thing in grace, in his love and in faith. But man, I definitely don't feel like a perfectionist at fatherhood, but something that I deeply believe in.
Well, first, I heard you say you were in a season, and I am in a season too, because I am a girl dad of 2 girls. Plus I have 2 boys too, but one girl is 16 and one girl is 4. And oh my goodness, these attitudes, bro. Let me tell you something right now. I feel the season. You got one daughter that's just doing whatever she wants, and then the other one is just messing my whole house up. And so I feel the season.
Can we dive into that a little more? Because I got a teenager too, man.
Yeah.
And then I got 13, 5, and 3.
Yeah.
I wake up somebody.
And they're all girls?
All girls.
Oh, man. You're
all
in
girls.
trouble, bro.
All girls. Now, I always say my girls are going to change the world. Mm-hmm. But right now, they are still changing the world. But they hold me. It's a handful. It's a handful, man, of just, man, it just can be tough, man, especially with teenage girls. Mm-hmm. And trying to be there for them.
You better put some clothes on.
Man, put some clothes on. Or who you talking to like that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Common phrases at my house.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing is what I talk about in my group is so important when your kids are testing you, because you're in the thick of it now. Everybody say, oh, kids are so amazing. I love them. I want more of them. But you don't hear that much from people who have teenagers. Yeah. It's a tough space, but you always have to be mindful of how you are seeing your kids. That's my indicator. It's one indicator is how am I seeing them? Because if I see them as this bratty teenager, I'm going to treat them like that. Mm-hmm. But if I still see them as this child who still needs nurturing, who I still need to hold accountable, but still need to pour in a lot of love. Because I got a lot of different influences out there that we didn't necessarily have to deal with. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm always mindful of what my question, and when I'm feeling like I'm about to lose my mind, which I do often, how am I seeing my child right now?
Mm-hmm. How's your child seeing you?
And I think as a role as a father, sometimes it don't matter how they seeing you. I still got to be the standard, and that's the tough part.
We're setting the example.
We setting the example. They're the pressure cooker. They're gonna show you what you got inside of you.
I do the same thing with Eric at work. I have to set the example.
You got to.
Yeah, and on a side note, if we have any fathers in the chat, go ahead and put a blue heart in the comments.
I gotta ask it. What's your favorite dad joke?
Oh, favorite dad joke. All right, I'm not as funny as I used to be. Okay. I used to feel like I had good jokes. Now don't nobody laugh.
Well, you called me Chris earlier. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, that was intentional.
Yeah. You know? I figured it
was. But I do the dad dancing in the kitchen. That's my way of playing with my kids. I'm always dancing with them in the kitchen, doing their dances, joking, playing, freestyling with them. I'm not gonna freestyle. It's terrible. But I enjoy doing it. And I'm silly with them a lot. Yeah. So they silly all the time.
Yeah, I get my kids all the time when I try to get them with the dad joke in there.
They don't go for it.
Yeah. They just don't like it.
Eric, like, he got a dad joke up his sleeve.
No.
Nothing.
I know Luke got one. Yeah, okay. I know Luke got one. He's been waiting for this day.
When does a joke become a dad joke?
When is that?
When it's apparent.
I knew he would. I knew he would.
That's fun.
So you talked about being vulnerable and
Yeah.
doing the dances with your kids and stuff. Why do you think that vulnerability is so difficult for men?
Man, I think it's what we've been taught, man. We've been taught to provide, protect. That's it. And I'll say this. One of the biggest, when you see, especially women, I'm just going to say daughters, young men too, but when you see someone who has a hard time of opening up, or they just feel very callous, is a lot of times my first question is, was their dad in their life, and what type of father was he? A loving father, a vulnerable and nurturing father changes the trajectory of a child's life. You know what I mean? I can talk to I worked in early childhood for a long time. And if you put 15 3 to 5 year olds in a room and you let me spend 10 minutes with each one of them, I could pretty much tell you who has a father in their life and who doesn't. Okay. Without them even saying that they do or they don't, just because of how they express themselves. And I think that goes back to when a dad is loving, nurturing, and vulnerable and open. Vulnerable is putting yourself back to having teenagers. It's position yourself to be hurt. It's I'm gonna love on you even if you got a terrible attitude. I'm gonna love on you even if you say you hate me and you can't wait till you move out. I'm still going to choose to love. Not saying with no correction, but when you loving and loving on your children, it changes their life. And when you don't do that, it produces a hurt and a resentment. That is, creates this, often, I don't want to say bitter person because, a lot of times, but it may feel like bitterness, unbearable, pain that they suffer.
So when you're working with men, getting into fatherhood, what's been some of the rewarding times that you can look back and just a few?
I've had dads who have been navigating CPS.
Okay.
Where I think the focus isn't so much. It's like this light bulb moment where it isn't these people trying to take my kids, but it's like, how can I grow as a father? How can I show up just to be the best that I can be? And I think when dads take accountability and they understand their role, I think that's one of the best. I have dads who have a lot. There's a point in my group where a lot of my dads admitted that they didn't really have friends or have people around. And to see people, send you pictures like, oh, I'm hanging out with the dad from this group, or we staying connected, or we going fishing, or I'm at his kid's birthday party. Okay. So seeing the sense of community and then seeing that aha moment of when dads are starting to understand of how impactful their roles are. That's the biggest thing is, you move different when you know who you are. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? When you see, the impact of your role, it changes how you do things.
I mean, it starts to step into the role of fatherhood, right?
It does.
Move more freely, too.
More freely, and I think that I show up like, when you got a different position at Samaritan Way versus when you started, you look different now. Mm-hmm. When you first used to have T-shirts on the time, Jordans, that's cool and all. But the way that you show up now is a little different because you have you understand the role and the impact you have.
Yeah, I'm sitting at some different tables.
It provides new opportunities with your children to grow. So I guess in that same capacity is to know their role and the impact, how they can change the trajectory of their child's life.
And that's huge.
Yeah. And don't take perfection. I hope I don't, when I'm talking, it don't seem like I teach dads how to be perfect dads. No, I work for dads to know who they are, their impact, and how to love.
So what are a couple things that every dad needs to hear but rarely does?
They live by grace as well, to forgive themselves, that they're forgiven for their mistakes or where they fall short or where the things that they don't know or for their past. I think every dad needs to know that every day is an opportunity to start fresh. Yeah. You haven't done something so terrible that you can't recover from. So I think that would be one of the biggest that every dad needs to know. And you can't take your impact as a dad, whether young or old. I don't care if you got kids who are 45 or 4 and 5. You don't take the hat of fatherhood off. Like, you can't choose not to be a father. You're always going to be a father. You just have to walk in who you're called to be. You still have the same level of impact. Let me just say that. That's a better way of putting it.
And what would you say to the dads out there that maybe, because it's hard to admit you're wrong or you're maybe not doing right. So what would you say to the dads that are maybe scared to take that step to reach out and get involved in something like Man Cave?
Can I switch it for dads who need to reconcile relationships with their kids?
Yep.
The love that my standard of love has a piece where it says it doesn't keep records of right and wrong. It's not about being right, but you have to come to a humbling place and say, I value the relationship versus being right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if what they did was absolute wrong. I'm not saying, but sometimes you got to move past of what the details are, and to reconcile the relationship is a humbling piece.
Yeah.
It's a humbling piece. But love requires us as husbands and fathers and leaders to go low. We got to usually choose a low route. But in society, we've been taught the opposite, and we're always to be prideful, stand firm, don't back down.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, that's cool in certain situations, but in love, it gets you nowhere.
Nowhere.
But alone. So don't focus on being right. Focus on forgiving yourself, forgiving the other person. And love does not keep records of right and wrong.
So I got a question for the audience and for you, Norman.
Go for it.
Coffee or energy drinks?
Oh, man. I'm working on calming down on the coffee.
Okay.
I'm only at about a cup every couple of days, but I got to leave them energy drinks alone, man. They are dangerous, brother. They are dangerous.
This is like a drink for me.
I know, man.
Yeah, I'm like,
I do this, the Yuka app. You've seen it before where you can, like, scan an item. It's an app, and it tell you already know it's bad for you, but it tells you why it's bad for you.
Yeah, I don't use that. I don't want to know.
Yeah, and I think, too, as I'm getting older, you see these chin hairs.
Mm-hmm.
And as I serve older fathers, you just see how short life is. Yeah. And your behaviors impact your children's behavior, So when I try to eat healthier and make better decisions with my health, my kids make better decisions with theirs. Not perfect, but progressing. So I do a coffee every couple of days. And then I'm trying to take more vitamins.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's important to, look at what we ingest.
Too.
Not only with nutrition, but with music.
Brother, oh, man, you crazy.
And that brings me to this next question. Do you have, a favorite worship song?
Oh, man. This is, bro, I like this guy, man. I like you too, Joe, but I like you. Yeah, bro, my daughter, having daughters put me on a new song, and it's called More Like Jesus. I'm not going to sing it. You ever heard it?
Mm-mm.
I'm going to share it. Can we add it to the thing? Mm-hmm. And it's talking about.
You can find the link below.
Yeah, it's every day be a little more like Jesus is part of it. And I think that's my I like that song. And then one of my all-time favorites is Most Beautiful. I'm so in love, Most Beautiful. Yeah. So worship song that I listen to a lot. But I'm a worshiper.
We'll link both of them.
All right, bet,
there.
my man. I'm a worshiper, man. That's how, that's how I fight my battles, bro.
Okay.
A lot of times,
I'm big on worship myself.
Yeah, my battles right now in life be too bigger than I can manage. It's way, there's probably no battle in my life that I feel strong enough to get through alone. You know what I mean? I'm humble enough to say that I require the Lord in worship and staying in that place, especially in parenting. It is a requirement for me. My kids know if something off, they probably could tell you, Daddy ain't waking up and praying in the morning and worshiping enough.
Yeah, I feel a big difference, with the music that I listen to, and choose to put on the radio these days.
Yeah, man, I had to quit listening to Kevin Gates, and it's crazy because in the beginning of my recovery, I listened to a lot of worship music, and then I got back kind of listening to trap music and stuff, and I was doing fine for a while. And one day I was literally listening to some Kevin Gates going down the road, and I had that thought in my mind, dude, I could make one phone call and be on, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, it does.
I was 4 years clean when that happened, and I was like, whoa. So I went right back to just listening to Christian rap and stuff like that, because it does really cloud your mind, yeah.
What about you, Joe? What's some of your favorite music or artists?
Oh, I like ASAP Priest,
Okay, I
Joe
like him.
Nestor.
Okay.
Of course, NF is always up there. I've been listening to a lot of Jelly Roll and Brandon Lake too. I like
Brandon,
that.
I love Brandon Lake.
Yeah, Brandon Lake's pretty good. I don't get into like the softer songs. That's probably for y'all, but you know, I'm hard out here, so I gotta listen to that hard Christian.
Still in denial. You know what I mean? We gotta know yours. So, what's your favorite worship song?
I would say "Gratitude" by Brandon Lake.
Oh yeah, it's a solid one.
Yep.
My oldest daughter loved that song.
Yep, I love that song.
Yeah, that's dope, bro.
Just makes me want to throw my hands up.
Yeah, again and again. I got you.
All right, Norman. So, what is it like having a blended family?
My blended family is a beautiful thing, but it's a masterpiece by the Lord, because as you making it, it looks terrible. It's been tough. People crying, arguing. I mean, it's a lot. It's been tough to navigate, but through the grace of the Lord, it's been a lot better. I'll say we have good communication, pretty much across the board. If there's something going on, me and the mother of my oldest child, we communicate well. My wife and I, we do a good job of communicate, and it hasn't always started that way. But when we keep the focus on our daughter, it's a lot more successful.
Yeah.
And then back to that humbling piece. It doesn't always require that now, but just trying to humble myself, understanding that she has the best interest for our daughter, as me and my wife try to have the best interest, and we try to work through that. But blended families is sometimes it does feel out of design. Like, you can see why the Lord said a husband and wife have a kid, because, you know, I think one of the toughest pieces is when my daughter has to come home on the weekends, you know, and it's like trying to blend together.
Yeah.
Because me and my wife and the other two have already had our Monday through Friday, and then she comes on the weekend, and then by the time it becomes normal, she's going back with her mom.
Mm-hmm. And the rules change.
And the rule change.
Yeah.
So it's a taxing. I'm always, you know, mindful of how taxing it is on her. And as she gets older, giving her more say. You know, some weekends she'll be like, hey, I want to stay. Can I stay longer? Can I go with my mom this weekend? Or, you know, so I think communication is key. Grace, giving each other grace. But, yeah, I think me and my wife have had some tough conversations about that. I always talk about, too, about the dad guilt that happens when you have a blended family. You know, when you have maybe a child who's with you all the time permanently, and then the other child comes here and there, you know, then when the other child comes, you're deeply invested because it's a shorter period of time. But then the child who's always there is like, dang, you leaving me every weekend, you know, so.
And then they get older, and then they don't come around at all anymore.
I'm fearful of that, man. I hope that never happens.
When my daughter was younger, she was there week on, week off, almost the whole summer.
Yeah.
But as she grew and got friends around where her mom lives, slowly but surely, now she comes over maybe once a month. I talk to her a lot.
Yeah.
Like, unless she needs some nails done or some money in her pocket.
Yeah. Yeah, me and my daughter my oldest have a great relationship. All three of my daughters, man, they are my rollies. I have amazing daughters, man. Amazing. You know, one is very they talented, they're kind, they're smart. I really believe my daughters are gonna change the world. I don't say that as a catchy line, but in the midst of it all, the blended family piece, it's tough. It's tough making sure that you're loving on all three of them adequately, and then making sure that my wife comes first even before them. You know, it's been a piece of navigating, but you know, through God's grace, we get through it. I couldn't write a book on it yet, you know, because I'm still navigating and still learning.
You probably got at least the first chapter.
You know, I got a couple chapters, but there's some pieces that I'm still learning, man. I make calls in certain situations. Bro, how are you navigating this? Hey, bro, I know you've been doing this longer than me. How have you figured, you know, what's worked? And then the biggest thing is my thing. I can't walk in guilt and shame. I can't protect my daughter from every feeling she has about, you know, sometimes she may feel rejected because of the setup, and I got to give her space to do that, and that's hard.
Yeah.
Because, you know, that pushes a dad away of working with dads, is when dads feel rejected. As a parent, when you feel you're not needed as much, you know, even when you talk about your teenager, not to put you on the spot, but, you know, when she said, I'm just going to hang with my friends, although it's not personal, it still hurts.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, why you don't want to hang out with me?
Like, what do you mean? You've been hanging out with me for 12, 13, 14, 15 years.
And now you don't, what's going on? And, you know, to not taking it personal, once again, keeping my standard of love, But I'm very open with my daughter when I feel rejected about, dang, you ain't been here in 2 weeks. What you mean you want to go to your mama's house for a night? But I understand her friends are there, and she's getting older.
I kind of make it a joke, too. I'm like, you don't even call me unless you need your nails done.
Because you need something.
But that's for real.
That's a real, yeah. A passive-aggressive line. Yeah, I'm like that with, my daughter, she enjoys drastically. They love just spending one-on-one time. They still there, but I'm hoping it stays that way.
Yeah. Don't get your hopes up too much.
No, man, Joe, don't say that. Speak life for me, man. I need them. Because, man, they mean a lot to me. I do what I do a lot, not only because it's my calling, but my girls still think I'm their superhero.
Yeah. That's what a dad is.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think that'll ever change.
All
My
right.
16-year-old still calls me about, oh, this or that, or mom's boyfriend said this. He thinks he's my dad. And I'm like, well, he's your stepdad. So
Yeah.
But she'll still call me whenever there's problem. This girl said this and blah, blah, blah.
So this is the recovery after party. We got a question for you.
Go ahead.
What is a piece of advice you'd give to someone that hasn't found recovery yet?
Ooh. Good question, man. I say one of the biggest things is be willing to go deeper. I think asking yourself deeper questions, what are your fears about, about freedom and addiction? And then I think that question about love. Do you love yourself? Where haven't you found love? Have you really tried your relationship in freedom in Christ? I'm not trying to, preach to everybody out there, but I am saying that changed my walk. It changed, I would not be free today unless that his love and I was able to receive that. But, I think that's my biggest piece, making sure people around them are still loving on them. Be cautious of how you see yourself right now. How you see yourself is, I think, super important in recovery. It is. So I think that would be big for me. What would be big for you as a recovery coach? What would you tell somebody who's on that screen, who's listening in, and who's struggling? What would you tell them?
Eric says if you don't like who you see in your mirror, shave your beard.
Yeah.
So if you can get Lucas here to post a picture of Eric's beard, he needs to grow it back.
Yeah, post it down below.
Yeah, we should do it. We should do a vote on that. This guy had a massive beard. Yeah.
Word.
I would say to somebody that hasn't found recovery yet, or that's interested, or still struggling, I would say that just do it. Just take that first step. Reach out to a recovery coach. Reach out to Samaritan. Reach out to one of these organizations here in Muskegon. There's plenty of them. Reach out to a pastor. Reach out to a mentor. Reach out to someone that you see that has some recovery time under their belt. Reach out to somebody that has something that you want. And I'll tell you right now, recovery is beautiful. And ever since I found faith and found God and found recovery, I put all those three together. And life is a lot better now. I got a job here at Samaritan. I got a car. I got the opportunity to start seeing my kid again. I haven't seen him yet. But I just started talking to his mom, and so his next soccer game, shout out to Grayson, I'll be able to go cheer him on. So I'm just excited to step back into fatherhood, and it's a beautiful thing. So if you're thinking about recovery, just do it. You won't be disappointed.
Yeah, think about some of the things you're doing right now in your mess that you're living in. Cannot be any more embarrassing than going in and just saying I need some help. You know what I mean? I remember when I was in my mess, I did some pretty embarrassing things. So asking for help was not too big of a deal for me. So no matter where, I'm not saying just come to Samaritan Way. Just go somewhere and try to get some help.
Man, it's nothing like freedom. You know what I mean? To wake up and not to be like knowing that you are dependent on something so much. That's one of the best feelings. Yeah. I tell people, like, if somebody said, Norman, we got $100,000. We need you to go to Tokyo for 9 days. And at the time, I couldn't get pills. I couldn't go.
Right. Yeah.
Because I couldn't function or perform. And to have years of not needing that anymore or that feeling, man, it's gratitude, bro. You feel like you said, you feel like what you in right now is trash. And sometimes you look at freedom like, I don't know if I want to wear a collared shirt or I don't want to, I think
likes it.
People are fearful of becoming something new. But man, you have no idea what you missing Like, you gonna walk in and be like, dang, this is what purpose feels like. This is what freedom feels like. And that alone will have you never wanting to go back. Or you wait, or asking yourself, why did I wait so long? So,
And you know when you're walking in your purpose, you just
Yeah.
you know
It's a
I
different
could
feel.
feel from the first time I ever helped somebody through a struggle
Yeah.
up to today now. I can feel it when I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I can feel when I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
That's it.
But just being able to feel in general, that's great, because before it was like, oh, I got an emotion, let's get high.
Let's get high. What is that? I don't like that. Yeah. Gotta feel this.
Yeah, so whether you're tuning in to M106 FM or you're checking us up on YouTube or on Facebook, you can always find us on podcasts. We're going to be on Apple Music or Apple Podcasts. We're also on YouTube, and we're streaming on Spotify. Also, you can find me on Facebook, Eric Baker with the blue check. Shout out to Meta. It's like $12.99 a month. And Joe, where can people connect with you?
Facebook, you can put in inquiries at SamaritanRCO.org. And right here on the Recovery After Party, or come on down to Samaritan. On Mondays, I'm in Muskegon right now. Looks like the rest of the week I'm in Greenville for a while. So your best bet's probably to Facebook me, Eric. If you got my number, call me.
Yeah, come on down to 1465 East Apple. That's here in Muskegon, Michigan, located, we'd say, next to the Secretary of State?
Yeah, right next to the Secretary of State. Yeah, Eric's eager to start helping people, so come jump on his caseload.
Jump on Eric's case, man. Eric, we proud of you, too.
Thanks, man.
And this new step. You look like you belong. You're doing what you're doing now. And shout out to your son, Grayson. He's going to have a great soccer game. His name's Grayson, right?
Grayson, yep.
His name is more important than, I don't want to mess up his name. I'm cool with messing yours up. But, you're going to do a great job, man.
Thanks,
Phenomenal
brother.
job. So, all right.
This is the Recovery
After Party.
After party.
Wow,
Thanks
wow,
for having me. I
wow.
appreciate y'all. And keep moving forward for those who listening, man. If you're already in freedom, stay in freedom. If you're looking for freedom, you know where to come.
We're at the Recovery After Party.